already.
Okay.
Kendra, I
don't
sat
have to hit nothing January.
Do what?
I just gotta hit the one button.
Nope, you don't have to hit anything. It's all going for you.
This is. I see a resort.
What was your text?
On my way.
I took it as, oh my word. I was like, what? What happened?
I figured that's what she would do.
It is 4 o'clock and we already know Art's gonna be a little late, so I think we go ahead and call the meeting to order.
Think about it tonight till I see you.
The first thing on the agenda is the April minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Did everyone have a chance to look at those? Do we have any comments, motions?
I'll make a motion that we accept April minutes as presented.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of approving the April minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So we can move on to claims.
Hi, Carrie.
I have some questions.
Okay. Hopefully we have the answers.
I am confused. No, so I'm wondering why, so we reimbursed BNC Electric for Easter egg candy?
Yes.
Because they bought it and we had to pay them back for it?
So in the past, we purchased all the candy.
Uh-huh.
This year, the Lions Club wanted to stuff the candy and also go out and purchase it.
Oh,
So instead of us purchasing it, we let them purchase it, then we just reimbursed them for it.
okay.
We gave them basically, we spent about what we spent last year, but we
Why
gave them a
is that
budget.
not transacting as the Noon Lions instead of BNC Electric?
I think they used their BNC Electric credit card when they went out and purchased it instead of,
As a nonprofit, you wouldn't have to pay taxes, right? Like,
Right.
doesn't make any sense.
And then I was also curious about, and I'm sure I've been told this before, but I don't remember, the, money for the Seymour Swimming?
that is an annual that they basically use that as a startup. And then towards the end of the season, we basically get that money back.
How?
They'll write us a check.
Well, but I mean,
How about?
where is their money coming from?
Their big swim meet,
Oh, so, okay. I
Seymour
see.
Splash.
Seymour Splash, yes.
Oh, I see. So we're kind of lending it to them.
Correct.
Floating.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, and you might talk about this later, cause I know it's not, but lights for the pool? Did we know that they were doing lights for the
Yes.
pool?
This was actually, it was a last year project that never got around to it. Well, they finally got around to it.
Oh,
And that's where it's coming in place at.
Okay.
It was actually, I think, this was discussed back when Stacy was here. It's for the locker room area.
Oh, I don't remember that, I'm sorry.
Yep.
But, okay, thank you. Hi, Art.
How you doing, guys?
We are talking about the claims. I already said my piece. If anybody else has any questions or motions?
I'll make a motion that we accept the April claims as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of approving the April claims, say aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? Okay, thanks. The 2211 and the 25039 balances.
Do we have any projects that we know we want? Like if I look over where we were this time last year, the same month over month, right? Like we're setting $30,000 more, and that's even when we've paid out. Do we have more for the lighting project to come out this year?
Yes.
Okay.
So you will
Okay.
be seeing a $10,000 for basically starting field 4 and 5 lighting project, which it's already been started because we've already got all the poles set. But we've already paid for the electricity side part of it. So there'll be a $10,000 there, and then we've already paid for the lights. So I'm not sure the total amount. I'd have to look back on the email on the total amount, but next month you will see $10,000 to BC Electric for fields 4 and 5. The plan for that, while we're discussing that, is to be done by the end of June. So we'll have lights on the fields 4 and 5 at Freeman.
If nobody has any questions, I'll move that we accept the April balances for 2211 and 25039 as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor of approving the 2211 and 25039 balances, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Did you guys vote over there? I didn't
Yeah.
hear you, I'm sorry.
At least I
Okay.
did in my head.
Okay, that counts. Okay, so, we can move on to updates.
Okay, West Side Splash Pad, permit's been turned into the health department for us to operate. The crew that was supposed to be here last week to get it fired up, unfortunately, the lead guy had some heart stents put in.
Oh, no.
So I'm expecting a phone call from him tomorrow morning to let us know when he will be here. It'll take him less than a day to get it fired up and get everything running. But I did tell him that I needed it up and running at least a couple weeks before Memorial Day so we could do a water sample, because that's our target date as far as opening is Memorial Day weekend. So that's where we stand on the West Side Splash Pad.
Do we have a prototype for the updated button that they had talked about last
I
year?
have the new one on my desk.
Okay, perfect.
It is still going to be on the ground level, but it is
Molded.
yeah, I'm gonna call it the
Encased?
RoboCop style compared to what it was.
Like an encased something?
It's more of a complex style.
Or heavy duty per se.
Yeah, I mean, this
Okay.
thing looks like you could take a sledgehammer to it.
Okay, well, let's not tempt them.
Yeah.
So that will be the crew that's coming down to fire up the splash pad will also install that.
Okay.
And is the plan, moving forward, I don't know if we ever talked about this, to have it on the same schedule as the city pool? Like, are you gonna close it the same weekend that you close the city pool at the end of the summer?
What we would like to do is try to keep it open until Oktoberfest weekend,
Oh, okay,
the splash pad, weather pending.
right,
I mean, if we know the cold weather's coming in, we have no choice but to
Right.
winterize it, but
right.
that's our plan, is to try to have it open for Oktoberfest weekend.
Okay, so through Oktoberfest but starting at the same weekend as the pool, opening the same weekend as
Yes.
the pool.
Yeah, that's our target date,
Yeah.
as long as all of our,
Right.
everything comes back good. Any other questions on the west side splash pad? All right, we'll move on to the city pool. I think in your Google Drive, you'll see a sheet that the Boggs has made up. That's kind of a reference sheet for all of us, especially in the office area. It shows what we're charging, talks about swim lessons, all types of different things. So just want to give that information to you guys as well. But with the city pool, for those of you that weren't here, back in September 10th of 2020, all of this talk started to become a reality as far as what we needed to do for the pool. Everyone knows that being 30 plus years old, our mechanical equipment has exceeded its expectations. Basically, back when it was installed then, it had a 20-year lifespan with a 10 to 15-year warranty. So all of that is very much exceeded. So with that being said, we've kind of moved along into the point of, and as all of you have a copy of this as well, this is kind of a general concept of what will be taking place at the pool. New mechanicals, the kiddie, I'm going to call it the play area. I don't like to call it the kiddie area. It's the play area will be redone. The concession stand area will be redone as far as, how big it is. There'll also be a private rental area that people can rent to have private parties while the pool is actually open. Restrooms on the deck with a mechanical room that will run the play area. And then a new mechanical room that will run the main pool area, so that will be split to where if there are something to where we have to shut one down, the other one can still be utilized.
Did I just hear you say something about restrooms outside of the locker room area? Ooh, very nice.
So right now, where our current kiddie pool area is, these are some bigger plans of that. So here's your main pool area. This is our kiddie or play area. This right here will be a mechanical room that will run the play area and also restrooms in this
So
facility.
when we think about like the sizing of that, is that basically, are we expanding the hill out or is, okay, so it
So,
is.
yeah, so basically all of this out here, even the sidewalk that runs currently in Shields that goes up towards the hill,
So how far is that gonna be from the basketball goals?
still a good ways.
Okay.
I think the sidewalk they said where it's currently at now might end up being 6 foot
Okay.
closer to the basketball courts. So I'm going to let Mayor Matt chime in on the bond.
I was gonna say, I can go as deep into this bond conversation as you want, or stay as high level as you want. Depends on how in-depth you wanna get into it. So it'll be a bond process. Basically, as most of you probably already know, cities can't go to the bank and borrow money. So we have to issue bonds. The bond process for this one would be very similar to what we used on the fire station a couple years ago. So it's a process that we're familiar with. The source for it would be revenues that we generate over the course of a year. Always trying to keep that tax rate level. Art will understand that one really well because the schools try to do the same process. But basically, we'll start that process at 7 o'clock tonight, where we will ask council to give the first of several steps that will need done. From there, it'll go to RDC. Later in the month, it will have several public notices that go out. It will go to the RDA, which is the Redevelopment Authority, as well, and then it'll go back to council on Tuesday, the 27th, I believe it is, where it'll get its final hearing. If everything passes through the process and the 5 or 6 steps that it takes to get there, then we will be able to start or continue, because we've already started some of the prelim work as far as the geotech work and stuff for this. Be able to continue, so the pool closures will be minimal. The goal is to do the mechanicals of the main pool between the 25 and 26 seasons. That way in 26 we can reopen the main pool. They can continue working on the play area, I think is what Chad just dubbed it, during the 26 season with the main pool open, and then be able to have the full usage and a giant celebration of a ribbon cutting for the 27 season with all the brand new stuff, as well as the existing pool that's already there, because the main pool is in. The pool itself is in decent shape. It's the mechanicals for the main section that need the most work. There's also a piece in there about slide rehab as well, and some of that. So all that's on your papers. So it's a very high level version of the bonds, but again, I didn't know how deep into them you wanted me to jump. So be glad to share more if you want. But that's the general update.
So, given what you just said, in the 2026 season, we're gonna be without a children's pool again?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it'll be under the children's area, and the concession area is the other part that, to me, is kind of how I've been wording it. Will be under construction during the 26th season. So if I remember the timeline correctly, which I didn't grab my notes, then 27 will be the first year that it's fully open for everybody's enjoyment.
Because people complained the last time we were out of children's stuff, and we already know ahead of time we're not going to have a whole year without it.
Yeah, and the nice thing though is they'll be able to see construction going on, so that might
Right.
make it a little easier to be patient. I can tell you, I had a group of Emmanuel kids in for a tour earlier, and they seemed pretty excited to hear that there was changes coming, so, with the pool.
And I think compared to what we currently have to offer at the kiddie area now compared to what we're gonna be having, it's gonna be phenomenal.
Total project, I'm gonna round up 4.5 million. It's 4.42 something. So just round it up, make it easy, 4.5.
It actually started out at 5.4.
That's a very valid point, yeah. So the parks, your crew, Chad, Tracy, Emily, everybody, in the course of everything, we're able to shave almost $1 million off of the original project. So, and then all that is of course dependent on bids when they do come in, when we go out for bids later this year, once we get through this process. So if they're like our road project that we opened a couple weeks ago, they may come in a little lower and we maybe don't have to bond as much, but our limit is 4.5, so.
Questions?
Who's excited?
Ask me in a month.
No, kind of.
So
Or
with
in a
that,
year.
We're at the nervous phase for me right now, Kendra.
yeah, so with that being said, I'd encourage any of you that would like to attend this evening. I actually have the Bogs coming tonight because I can't be here tonight, but especially on the 27th, if any of you can attend for that would be the second reading.
27th would be the second reading,
Be
yes.
the second reading, and that's, any support that you guys can give us as far as letting council see us here that's wanting this to take place, it would be greatly appreciated. That would be the 27th at 7 p.m.
26th, the holiday, so we'll meet on the 27th. Odds are. I'll know for sure at 7 something tonight if they choose the 27th. Okay?
Thanks, Mayor Matt.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
All right, on to incidents. Unfortunately, we did have an incident this past month out at Freeman Field. So where our temp fences are put in, I don't know if you guys can see this illustration here, but this is basically where the temp fence is installed on our outfields that have 300-foot fences, and we put temp fences in at 225 for our tournaments to be ran. There was a child that actually dove for a ball during the warm-up session prior to the very first game. His knee hit this, and this was sticking up minutely above ground, and hit it just right and ended up with, I believe, 18 staples in his knee. It was, I didn't share the pictures. I won't show you the before, but there's the after picture. So,
How big around is that hole that you just showed us?
about the size of my thumb.
Okay, so it's about.
So basically what happened is where his knee hit that, it didn't cut it, it just ripped his skin off.
Yeah.
So, countermeasures have already been taking place. We now have caps that go on those. The guys, as soon as it happened, notified Carrie and the guys, they went through and checked all of them, make sure they were ground level, if not, into the ground a little bit, and then the caps also go over them. So now the caps are actually rounded. And so if someone does go over it and hit it, it's not gonna grab and tear and rip. So, went through all of that with insurance, dealt with them pretty extensively, and with everything that we've done, they gave me 100% satisfaction on countermeasures that we took, so. Questions on the incident?
Poor guy, how old is this boy?
I don't know the age, but I believe he was either 12 to 14. That was the age groups that
That
were
was the
playing.
age group, yeah, I just didn't know if it was a little kid or,
And
yeah.
the parents, they weren't asking for a whole lot. I think we basically had to pay doctor bills.
Right.
You know, make sure they didn't have any expenses is what it come out to be, so. They were very, very polite, the parents were, so.
Good.
Great to work with, just hated to have to work with them in that
Right.
circumstance.
I'm just gonna tell you, I would die if my kid came up and there was that much blood. Like, I mean, I would just like die.
And they said it really wasn't, really didn't bleed a whole lot. I mean,
How? 18 staples?
well,
That's like a knee replacement, like half arc, like somebody's trying to cut your knee out.
it was like you just grabbed your skin and just peeled it back. And so it really wasn't a deep cut. I mean, I've got a picture of it.
Yeah, I
if
don't
you'll
want
see
to
it.
see.
It's in our thing here.
I think she's already seen it.
There are a lot of pictures in this document, but there aren't any of the little caps,
Those were done after this was put in there. So basically, if you think of a PVC pipe, think of a smaller version like that's a PVC pipe, and then you have caps to where you
Yeah.
cut it and you cap it off. That's actually what it looks like.
They're more rubber caps.
Yeah.
And I assume-
Yellow
Oh, yeah.
rubber caps.
Yeah,
And
they're
I'm
yellow.
assuming
They,
if we don't, we double checked all the other parks to ensure that if we have any of this type of stuff.
so Freeman's the only place we
Okay.
use temp fences, other than the one that stays up year round at Shields. Shields Big Diamond, it stays up year round, or season around, I guess. So yeah, Freeman 1, 2, and 3 is the only places that we put temp fence up. And they go up for softball. Most of the time come down for baseball, depending on the age group. This particular age group was, I think, the 12-year-olds, so they use the temp fence. Any other questions? Okay, good to move on to programs. Tracy?
We have Kids to Parks Day on May 17th, this Saturday. We will be having a bouncy house. It is from 11:30 to 1:30 at Shields. We'll also be serving hot dogs, chips, and water. That will all be free. Summer Volleyball League, we currently have 40 teams signed up. I have extended it just to this Wednesday. We have a pretty good number right now, so I don't think we'll have to wait any longer than that, but we have extended it just in case. And they will start June 3rd. Summer Pickleball League. The Beginner League, we only have one team signed up, so that will probably not be continuing unless for some reason we pick up 5 more teams overnight. But Intermediate League, we do have the 6 teams, which is the full amount. That will be starting June 4th on Wednesday nights from 6 to 9. It's a 5-week program. And then we have the Fearlessly Brave 5K Woods Warrior Run and Walk. It is on June 13th, which is Friday the 13th. Starting at 8 p.m. is registration. The race will start at 9. It will be at Freeman Field. Early registration will include a t-shirt and headlamps with water bottles, and we currently have 2 participants signed up as of now. That's all.
Friday, June 13th, Friday the 13th.
Hence the name Fearlessly.
It was intentional.
So with that, last year this was one of the events we started. Tracy actually started the Strawberry Moon 5K. Registration started out kind of slow. I think we ended up getting like
Mid-40s?
mid-40s total, but we had several that actually signed up that day out there. So we're going to continue pushing it, putting it out on social media, things like that. So hopefully we get some more interest. So, any questions on the programs or league updates?
Do you guys have access to the Geyser Pickleball group on Facebook? Like, I don't know who uses it or not, but like, there's only 100 people in there. But like, I was just thinking to myself, like, I don't remember seeing anything about pickleball, right? Like
The tournament wise or the
the
league?
league, right? Like, I feel like there's been a ton of people that have actually said, you know, hey, I went to go play, I wasn't able to play, or somebody came and said, hey, you can't be here, you got to go. So like, I wonder if there's not a way that we're missing people, right? Like, I feel like there's enough interest.
And this particular league, we did do mixed. So I'm wondering if we should have maybe just left it done a men's, a women's, and a mix just to open that option, but we were just kind of starting out slow with it to see how it went. Might try it again with just doing the men's and the women's.
Like, I know it's the Facebook algorithm, but I'm looking here at the pickleball team league information on May 2nd, and there's not a single like on it. Not one. So clearly people didn't see it. Like, I don't know if that was a busy day or what. So, like, I would maybe hang tight and see if we can, like, press that for a few more days, because I feel like the interest is there when we've been there playing.
Yeah.
Or even, like, is there a way that we can, like, laminate the thing and hang it on the fence, you know, where
Fence
you
as
go
they're
in
there.
to see and leave it there for a few days and see if it generates, you put a QR code on it to Rec Desk to be able to see. For people maybe that aren't on Facebook even.
We could try that.
And I'm going to share it with people that I know also.
Any other questions, comments? Move on to reservation request. Emily?
Okay. Would you like to vote on these individually or together?
Why don't you tell us all about them and then we'll decide.
Okay. All right, so the first one I have, Healthy Jackson County Coalition, through Schneck Medical Center, would like to reserve Crossroads, September 18th from 5 to 7:30 for mental health awareness and suicide prevention. It's a free community event. They'll have speakers, demonstrations of healthy activities to promote mental health, and a resource fair. They've filled out all the paperwork, and they have submitted certificate of insurance. Yes?
I don't know if you've noticed that their date conflicts with the last date of City Jam.
What's their date?
Good catch.
Yeah. But theirs was turned in before City Jams.
Yeah.
What's the times?
Um,
Are they
They
both in the
overlap.
evening?
Yep, they do. City Jams 6 to 8. Theirs is 5 to 7:30.
Is that something where we can have the
think-
hospital?
We're gonna have to talk to the hospital, because City Jam is something that's a staple.
Okay. Take all that.
Good catch, Gary.
Yep.
Yeah.
My next one is Danelle Kaufman. She's representing Team World Vision. Would like to reserve on May 31st for a fundraiser. They're going to have a concert. Junkyard barbecue food truck will be there. They would like to have it from 5 to 9. And then the last one is Main Street. Would like to reserve May 15th, June 19th, July 17th, August 21st, September 18th, from 6 to 8 for their annual City Jam.
And why, Chad, that we have to talk to Schneck about it? As opposed to talking to.
Well, the City Jam's always been a staple as far as the third Thursday of each month since they've started. Unfortunately, Main Street did not get their stuff turned in because currently they don't have anyone on staff.
They don't have any staff, or they lost an executive director?
And the assistant.
All they have right
The
now is
second
board.
time?
Yeah, all they have right now is the board.
Well,
And
this has Jordan's name on it.
Jordan's on the board.
He's on the
He's
board.
on board. I thought he was I thought he was an employee.
no, he's on the board. So, board member came in last week and Emily caught him in the office, and because it's right there by Emily's office, like, hey, you know, don't know what you guys are going through, but we need this, this, and this. And they jumped on it, got her the information, and they had already had the bands, I guess, paid for, but they didn't have our venue reserved, so. I do know that they have hired a director, and I believe they come on staff the 19th, the day after City Jam. 16th?
19th be the Monday after.
Okay.
So I wonder if the Schneck thing, if it's on September 18th for a reason, this is mental health awareness and suicide prevention. I wonder if that's, World Suicide Day or anything like that.
September is Suicide Awareness Month.
She said it, not me.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Emily, who's the contact on that?
Madison Piper.
Okay.
So here's what I wonder. Could you instead do the parking lot, right? Like their grassy lot, and bring in bleachers and sound stage and everything to basically allow them to have a front facing Tipton, there's plenty of parking. You're scorning. So the grassy lot at the farmer's market, basically have it there, right? We have portable, if it's seating, there's not seating that's at Crossroads, so it would.
Talking City Jam.
Yeah, no, I'm talking mental health people.
Oh, mental health.
Yeah.
people.
Well, they own that grassy lot
I
themselves.
know, that's what I mean. Maybe instead of saying sorry, no bueno, just say hey, this is already taken and it's, on the schedule as always, but, we can work with you to make this as productive as what you would like.
Well, they might prefer moving to another date, though,
And not
just
competing with
because
City
the
Jam.
conflict may prevent people
Yeah,
from
we
going
could give
to
them that
their
option
event.
though, if they're dead set on that date, then
And which city department has,
farmer's market, that'd be Board of Works.
okay, so maybe tell, Schneck that they can work with the Board of Works, cause the Board of Works would probably let them use the farmer's
Which,
market's
you know,
lot.
at that point in time, we could go as a recommendation from the Parks Board,
Yeah,
recommended use of what Kendra said.
if they need more than just their grassy area. So,
I'll make a motion that we approve A, B, and C reservation requests.
A, B, and C.
Healthy Jackson County, Team World Vision, and Seymour Main
We
Street.
can't do Healthy Jackson County because that's the one that's the Schneck one.
But it's not a matter of so if we're saying, so it's not a matter of they can't use the park request. So I guess if we go back to them and offer that suggestion as an alternative to whether or not they want to swim, we just might want to make sure that we know what. I find it hard to believe if it's National Mental Health Day, they're going to want to move it to a different day. I feel like it's going to need to be on that day because
That's what I'm afraid of.
I feel like that's.
I think it's end of the month.
Yeah, it's the month of September.
The whole month of September, I'm almost sure.
But if they're gonna move it to the farmer's market location, that's not Parks Department, is it?
No.
So we wouldn't need to approve it.
Okay, so let's go with, I'll make a motion that we approve Team World Vision and Seymour Main Street reservation requests.
That works, thank you.
And once we reach out, Emily can send out an email to the board to let you guys know what her conversation is with Schneck, just to keep you guys informed.
Then do I have a second for Team
Second.
World Vision? Thank you. All in favor of approving the requests for Team World Vision and Seymour Main Street, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so then you will get with Schneck?
Yes, I will
Okay.
reach out to Madison and see what she would like to do, and then I can reach out to you and let you know.
Thank you.
Yep.
Then miscellaneous business? Anybody? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Okay, she looked like she had something to say, so I wasn't sure. Okay, motion to adjourn, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we will see everybody June 9th at 4:00.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
You've got